Right team, just going to go through session A of next week's block 3. I'm going to go through both the shape and the strength program side by side because the movements are very similar but the protocol will be slightly different. So throughout the video I will go through the different ones. Starting with the warm-up, we're going to start with the world's greatest stretch, just taking it into that tall plank. You go feet together, hands on the shoulders in a nice tall plank position. A nice big lunge up. We want to try and get fingers and toes facing the same way. And then with that same side, we're just going to add in a nice big rotation up towards the ceiling. Hand comes back down, leg goes back. And then we just repeat that on the other side. Movement number 2, we're just going to go into some forward monster walks. So band's going to be tripled up. We're going to go around the bottom of the ankles here. We're going to create that tension on that band to start with, and then we're going to just work into a bit of a diagonal walk. So it's going to be a big step out to the side, little step in, big step out to the side, little step in. So they can use the length of the track, they can just use the width of the room if they want to, and then just finishing up again, another banded exercise, maybe slightly more resistance, going with that Dante row. So again, a little bit more posterior chain here. Step back so we've got a bit of tension. We're going to drive those hips back, almost like an RDL. Once we get to the point of us almost being parallel, or as far as we can go with good form, we're just going to add in almost like a lat pull down. So we just get a little bit of a movement through those lats, and then stand back up. So we go hinge, row, release, and stand. So nice and slow, nice and controlled, with a little bit of tension through that band. Going into the movement prep, so this is going to be movement number 1 of both the shape program and the strength program, which is going to be heel elevated back squats. So again, imagine the bar is set up right in front of me. I'm going to take myself under, up onto the shoulders, elbows back and down so that bar sits on the meaty part of my shoulders. Couple steps back, and then we're looking at maybe 15 down to 5 kg plate just underneath the heels. Chest up nice and tall. We want to try and keep our shoulders in line with our hips so we're not leaning forward. We're going to try and stay as upright as we can and get as much bend through those knees as we can and drive out. So again, it's a little bit more of a quad focused movement. So again, let me go through all of the shape movements and then we'll go on to the strength. So for shape, this is movement number 1. Once they're done, obviously walk it back into those hooks. And then movement number 2 is going to be slightly more dynamic and explosive. It's going to be split jumps. So we're going to take ourselves into a split stance position here. Again, chest nice and upright. We're going to come down, jump, change legs, jump, change legs. The regression for that one, if they struggle, they can hold onto the rings. And if they need to progress on, holding the dumbbells down by the sides to make it just a little bit more challenging. A little bit more load bearing, but again, very much quad focused. Movement number 3. So moving into the upper body now. We're going to take ourselves onto a nice flat bench here. We're going to make a nice diamond shape with the hands. We're going to squeeze those shoulders down in towards the bench. Feet flat, arms straight. We're slowly going to pull those dumbbells all the way back as far as they can with good range of movement and good control. And we're also using those big lat muscles to pull it back in to that start position. That's movement number 3. And again, that's going to be supersetted with a little bit more of an explosive movement in our tall kneeling slams. So from here, ball in between the knees, chest up nice and tall, big slam. So again, it's the same movement of that pullover, obviously just a little bit more explosive. So for the shape, that's going to be 3 sets of 10, so 10 of everything. For the strength, the heel elevated back squat is going to be 5 sets of 5, maintaining the same weight. And then the secondary movement, those dumbbell pullovers, again, for 8 to 10 reps. 8 to 12 reps, sorry, 8 to 12 reps. Again, if they're getting to 12 reps next week, try and go a little bit heavier. Setting ourselves up for part B. Again, shape. First, we've got 4 movements. So movement number 1 is going to be a flat dumbbell chest press. So from here, going to grab themselves 2 dumbbells, squeeze those shoulders in towards the bench, As we come out and down, keeping those knuckles above the elbows, get a nice big stretch across the chest, and then punch all the way back up to the ceiling. Slow and controlled. Elbows not too tucked in, not too flared, more at that 45-degree angle, and big punch. Slow, controlled, into that big punch. Their secondary movement is just going to be a push-up variation, so they can do push-ups along the bar, and then week by week try and get the bar closer to the ground. They can go from the bench, if they want to go from the bench here, they can go from the floor, or they can also go through 2 different plates on each side of their hand, so they create a bit of a deficit, or even some weighted push-ups, depending on how good they are at the movement. Movement number 3, we're going to our dumbbell RDLs. So again, just by your sides, shoulders back and down, nice soft knees, and we're focusing on driving the hips back. Really slow, really controlled. Again, the angle of the back is going to determine how far down they go. If their back starts to round at any point, we know that their limit has been reached and they're pushing a little bit further out of their comfort zone. So we want to keep that back nice and flat, drive those hips back and drive those hips forward. And again, their secondary movement. And movement number 4 is just going to be some hamstring bridges. So again, the angle of the legs is very important. So we're not in a 90-degree position, but we're not too far out where the legs are nice and relaxed. Slight bend through the knees. If they want, they can put a weight on their hips, and they're pushing the heels into the bench and thinking about dragging those heels in towards the glutes, and then back down. All the way up, all the way down. So again, 3 sets of 10 reps on each movement. For those on the strength, we're doing a 5x5 on a barbell chest press. So movement-wise, the same, but a bench in the rigs with a bar, and then the secondary movement being those dumbbell RDLs, again, 8 to 12 reps. For the finisher, we're going to go with some cardio. It'll be down to the coaches, so there'll be some arm isolation, there'll be a core flexion exercise, and then obviously a work on weakness at the very end if they want it. Cheers.